DocAve Content Manager can be used to restructure your information hierarchy in SharePoint by moving or copying objects in that structure to other locations. To do that, first log into DocAve, go to the Administration tab over on the left, and then we click Content Manager. In Content Manager, up at the top, we're going to click on Online Content Manager, and then on the left-hand side you will see all the different farms on your network that you have installed the DocAve agent into, and you will also see My Registered Sites for use if you are working in a hybrid environment and have Office 365 SharePoint Online that you're managing as well. In this example here, let's say that I've got something to move in my SharePoint 2016 farm, so I can click in both the source and destination to start to drill down. Now you can see here, as we start to drill down, things become selectable. You can move a site to a different site collection. You can move a library or list to a different site. You can even try to move items to different libraries or lists. All you have to do is locate that thing that you're attempting to move and then select its destination over on the right-hand side. And let's say that I've had a user contact me and say they created a library in the wrong site, and rather than recreate that thing, especially if there are documents already in there, if I can just move it to another location. Sure, I can do that. All I need to do again is to locate that object. In this particular case, I'm drilling down to locate that library. And once I find it, I can check it off. And then over on the right-hand side, again, I just have to locate the destination. Now note, if you ever selected the incorrect levels, DocAve will warn you up at the top that there is no match. I can't move a library over to a whole site collection. That doesn't work. We know libraries live at the site level, so I actually have to expand the site collection and then select the site where I want it to go. In this case, it's the root site of that site collection, but it could also possibly be a subsite. But now that I've got what I'm moving and where it's going to go selected, up at the top we have Copy, Move, and Plan Builder. Copy and Move are usable if you set up the default copy settings. It essentially takes you into a screen to verify those and just fires off the job. Move does the same thing. But if you don't have those settings configured already, then you can go in and click on Plan Builder and either choose Wizard or Form Mode. In this case, I'll go through the Wizard. First, we give it a name, and then down the bottom we click on Next. And you can see the steps in the Wizard down the left-hand side. Am I attempting to copy or am I attempting to move? If I copy, a duplicate will be made in the destination. If I want to move it, then I'm going to essentially remove the original after the duplicate has been made in the destination. Then how will that be removed? If you leave it set to manual, after the job has run, you'll be able to see in the DocAve job monitor that the job is complete, and then tell it that you want to go back and remove the original. If you choose automatic, DocAve will remove the original for you after a specific period of time has elapsed. Also, if there are checked out documents in the source, do you want to delete those checked out documents? Well, if I'm moving this, then in this case I'll say yes. Note that attach and merge are potentially options. That would be if I was moving one site to another site. Attach would go underneath. Merge would say combine these things together. That doesn't work when moving a library because there's no such thing as a sub-library. So I don't have that option here. I'll click on Next. The next step is to determine exactly what it is that is going to be moved or copied, in this case moved. Configuration, security, content. You can see all three are selected as a default. If I did not want security, let's say that the destination was managed by a completely different group of people than what we had in the source. Well, I don't want to copy those permissions over, as an example. But things like configuration, we may have already told the library how many versions it was supposed to have, as an example. Right, set up version control that we have there. So yes, I do want to bring the configuration over. Now when it comes to workflows, workflow definition and workflow instance. The workflow definition is the actual workflow itself that is running on that library. The instance would be essentially the status for each item in that workflow. In this case, let's say it's a brand new library, so there's no workflows, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'll leave the default in place and we'll click Next. Next, you have a choice about the schedule. Typically, these types of jobs are one-offs, so you may not set it up on a schedule. You may just have it run now at the end of going through this wizard. But one of the benefits of the schedule is you could schedule it to run after hours. If this is not business critical, I may want to run this at night when fewer people are using these systems. So in this case, I'm going to tell it no schedule, and I'll just execute at the end of the configuration wizard. And again, we click Next. The advanced step is going to provide you with a whole additional set of settings that you can work through if necessary. Should the data be compressed as it's moving, and if so, best compression versus fastest? Would you like to back up the source environment if something goes wrong during the execution of the move, and then we go back and we delete the source? Then of course that could cause a potential issue. So you can see back up the source environment is configured as a default, and if you like, you can even back up the destination environment. Conflict resolution, this again is if you are doing things like a merge and you have conflicts come up. At the container level, should it skip, merge, or replace? Below that, you have the content level conflict resolution. So if I tell it to do a merge, we automatically come down here. Let's say I was merging two libraries together, and those libraries have some of the same documents in them. Now what do I want it to do? So all of these are just some important additional decisions that you might need to think through. Once you work through those, down towards the bottom, we click on Next. The final step is to confirm all of the choices that you made, and if everything looks good, you have Finish, and you have Finish and Run Now. So I'm going to click on Finish and Run Now. Up at the top, it tells us that it successfully created the plan, and we can view that up on the Plan Manager tab if need be. It also tells us that it has started the job, and we can review its status in the Job Monitor. Thank you for watching this short video on how to use Content Manager to copy or move content.